Hello, tactical drone enthusiasts, and welcome back to the channel. Today I am going to practice my perching skills under stress. So today's stressors are obviously there's high winds in my area. I'm also by the swimming pool. So first stop here is on this little, whatever you call it. I don't know what you call it. Next step here, I'm gonna go over here to this little side table here. Come over here. It's always good to know how to perch and land because you may need to uh, do that sometime. I'm also perching, adjusting the gimbal around just to see what's below me. All right, let's go up to the next perching point. A little bit stress here, as you can see the wind blowing off of the canopies there. And some of that is prop wash, yes. Some of it is also the 15, 20 mile an hour gusts that I'm experiencing. What makes this stressful is one wrong move and this thing can slide right down into the water or onto the hard concrete. And so I got to make sure I get it right the first time and don't mess it up. All right, mission accomplished there. Let's go to the next point. Let's find a spot. I'm gonna come around over here. Oh, I'm gonna go over here to this storage building here. I might need to perch to watch this back door. One thing I learned about this perching is that sometimes these drones don't want to land very well on sloped roofs, like right here. So you got to revert to your emergency procedures here to keep that drone from falling. It went into landing mode and it went down and then it started sliding down the roof. Best way to combat that is just to simply ascend in altitude with the left stick, push forward on the left stick to go back up, and that will cancel the home or the automatic landing. And then we'll try again. Here we go. Landed it right there. Let's go find another point. I'm gonna bring it over. Actually, I'm gonna try one more time here. Get a little bit closer. Oh, started slowing off the back again. The wind caught me on that one, so cancel that one. Let's go over here. This one's gonna be a pretty easy perch point. As you can see, you can maneuver the drone as it's landing. You don't have to let it go straight down. You can go left and right and forward and backwards while it's landing. Now here comes another stressful one. As you can see, it's a floating umbrella in the water. And one wrong move and this drone is toast, literally. It wouldn't be the first time it's happened, but here we go. Let's go for it. The only way you're gonna get better is to actually do it. So let's put it right down there in the middle of the umbrella. There we go, up and going. As you can see, the umbrella is in the water. Now we're going to go over here to the top of the chimney. This one was really difficult because of the higher wind, the higher altitude. Trying to get that thing. My goal was to get it centered so that I could perch and watch that building across the hall or across the field there. But then I thought, nah, that's too far. I need to move up a little bit more. I got up on there or got it relaunched, went to move it forward. And of course, the wind is going crazy up here right now. So I pull my gimbal down using my RC controller or FPV RC controller. I don't use the motion controller anymore because of that right there. I like having control over my gimbal. I reperch it so I can keep an eye on that building right there if I ever have to. All right, going on to the next perch point. I'm trying to get onto this doghouse. Now there are some times when you think you can do something, and this is where you got to revert back to your Part 107 training and your 5 hazardous attitudes and your risk management. Sometimes it's just not worth the risk, but as you can see here, it's not going to work. So I abort that. And we're going to go on to the next point right here. This wonderful hanging chair. This should be pretty easy. One thing I didn't think about when I landed on it is number one, getting into it is, the wind is blowing, you get prop wash, but then I try to get up close to the edge and it just keeps sliding back. So something to think of is when you're going to perch on something, make sure that it's got a little bit of grip because once it stops, it lands and slides back. And luckily I had the backing of the chair there to keep it from sliding off into the water, but just a lesson learned. So let's go on to another perch point. Right here, I see this big, huge tire that I'm going to perch around on so that I can try and watch the back door of the building. And, today's wind is just really, and the prop wash is just not playing friendly with me. I go to land, I missed it. Let's try it again. Luckily, there was a pile of grass there. So we're going to come right over here. I'm going to set it down right there. Bam. And it sticks. So we're going to go on. Let's go on to the next one. I'm going to land right here on the side of this perch. But here's where I make a crucial mistake. I failed to recognize where my power levels were at. I failed to pay attention to that. And as I'm preparing to land on there, I get put into landing mode unwantedly. I did not put in for that landing. And it's because my battery was down to 5% and it started to auto land. And so that's because I wasn't paying attention to my battery levels. That's could have been a crisis if that was a little bit further off to the edge of the water there. So guys, what I want you to do is remember, hey, keep up with your battery. Happy training. Thanks for watching.